Hello. Just giving you an update, telling you what's going on with me and seeing how you guys are doing. Um, I've been really up and down. Some really bad days. I kind of think I did some of it to myself. I took a Zyrtec the other day because I've been having some ear issues. I normally have a screwed up left ear. It crackles and stuff when it comes to certain frequencies and whatnot. And if it does too much, it starts to hurt more and more. It gets really inflamed. Of course, now being in withdrawal, I can't do anything about it. I can't take a lot of ibuprofen like I used to do, or Mobic, which was a good inflammation killer. So now I just have to suffer through it. But I thought I would try a Zyrtec. I've taken some really small pieces of Zyrtec before and didn't have any issues. But this time I took half a Zyrtec and it threw my symptoms over the top. And that was about 2 days ago, and I'm still suffering from it. It cut down half the next day when I woke up, but my brain's just not. It's not the how it was 2 days before I took that. It's just I can't keep up. It's like you never freaking heal. Anytime anything, it just sucks. A lot of stress going on. Nothing I can do about. Nothing I can do anything about. I'm trying not to be stressed out, but when it comes to, honestly, I think tomorrow is 7 months. I have to check the calendar that I've been off of benzos, but the longer it goes, the more I have to think about going back to work. And honestly, I work from home, but in order to pay bills, because I'm starting to sell off most of my music equipment and everything in my music studio, so most of it's gone. I'm to the point now where I'm selling the stuff that where I can still record music now, but I'm gonna be selling that too. Don't have a choice. I didn't want to do it. I waited and waited and hoped for the best, but there's nothing I can do. I really wanted to be back to work and get things slightly back to normal, but I can't drive because my job is consisting of driving. I'd have to go out 4 days a week, and I'd have to drive into Illinois. So it'd be about an hour drive there, hour drive back, and I can barely drive as is. And then working, I can't even fathom that 7 months later I'm still not going out for work. It's been so much hell. I might eventually have to just tolerate it, and although it would make me sicker, I might have to just do it. I just don't know what else to do. I can't go homeless. Me and my girlfriend, we're the most important people in our lives, and it's been hell. It's been hard on both of us. So I'm not sure what to do. I can't see myself driving an hour. I mean, we picked the. It's all the decisions you make in this is really hard because you never know if they're going to be right or wrong. We moved into over the border in Wisconsin because it was cheaper for us to live and everything like that, but it makes it really hard for me to get back to work. I'm not going to explain my whole job. Just trust me on that. But I've been selling stuff, and we're squeaking by, but barely. Once I run out of stuff, I don't know what's going to happen. We'll see. A lot of tax things I have to deal with now. Filing my taxes is one thing. I'm going to owe them a little money, which is fine. I expected that because I missed a few things this year, but whatever. I have that saved from something else I sold, so I can pay it. I missed some tax stuff for last year, so I have to get a form, which has been really hard to get because I moved, so nobody wants to send me the form to my new address. But I have to do an amendment, on last year's taxes before, well, of course, I got till 2018, but I really got to get that done. I mean, this tax stuff, it kills me. It's stress, but that's what you got to do when you have your own business. Symptoms have been rough. I mean, I can see myself getting better. I mean, get this. I mean, I couldn't say this months ago, but yesterday was such a bad day, but I said screw it, and I went for a drive. I don't drive, but I want to start forcing myself back in the car and trying to get some confidence with driving again, because I will have to do a lot of driving. So my girlfriend went with me, which was good, just in case, And I took a 20-minute drive to where we wanted to go, which was just aimless, but aimless drive in Wisconsin is really, really fun for me. It was stressful because my brain has not been the same for the last 3 days. I just can't catch up. It's hard to explain. It's just not working right. Hard to concentrate. And when you can't concentrate, the stress builds and builds. It doesn't just cap off, it just builds, and the pressure builds up in your head, stuff like that. But I drove 20 minutes. We ended up stopping and looking at the lake in Williams Bay, which was really nice. And then we went to, I was going to drive back, and then we passed by the observatory, which is in Williams Bay, I think. Beautiful building. It was really great. I mean, I don't get out much, so the things I see is everything's just brand new to me. But after we saw the building, we didn't go in anywhere, but I started driving back, and my brain was just glitching out. I made it. I drove, and I felt confident to drive, even though it was really hard. But it was stressful, to say the least. By the time I got home, my body movement, the inner body movement, was going crazy. But I took a hot bath, I relaxed, and I meditated after that. And then I got it back to normal. My normal for the last few days has been really hard, but so it's getting back to that point. I just feel like there's a lot of movement in my body, and the dizziness has gotten really, really bad. I've been sleeping fine, but from my past videos, I've been on mirtazapine with all this, which I know doesn't help at all, but I can't get off of it now because of the benzo withdrawal, so I'm stuck. I have a psychiatrist appointment. Well, it's one of those initial appointments where they kind of place you. They're going to think I'm totally nuts. I just need somebody to talk to. I'm going to go straight out and say I don't want any meds. I'm not here to find meds, to be on meds, because I didn't realize my life was fine before all this. I thought it was bad, and I've learned in this process what I could have done to make it better. So, but I need somebody to cry to, whine to, and I need somebody to get me the confidence to eventually start weaning off the mirtazapine, which I can't do yet. But even if it's really tiny amounts, it's better than nothing, and eventually I need to get off this. I don't care if it takes a few years, but I need off of it. I need off all the meds. And mirtazapine, and other than Prilosec, which I take every day, but I've taken that for the last 10 years, so I can't just get off that. So I don't take that one day, and my whole entire system just blows up with acid. So whatever, that's not the world's end. I hear bad things about Prilosec, but you know what? For all the stuff that I could be on, that's not exactly the world's end. I'll eventually wean off of that, but that's going to be my last thing. But I'm not worried about that. It's not a psych medicine. I need to get off the mirtazapine, or at least get it cut in half for a while, see how it goes. But it's going to be ridiculously slow. If I started getting off mirtazapine now, it would be like 2% a month, maybe. Slow, but you know what? I'd rather be productive and have it go down than none at all. There's 1% every 2 weeks, but I'd probably just do the 2%. I mean, I make little changes and I can feel it, so. But anyway, it's kind of been a wave, It's just, I was in a bad wave. I started getting a little better. My ear got messed up, so I took the Zyrtec. That threw me back into a really weird situation with my head. But I was still able to drive yesterday, which proves that I'm getting better. But of course, I don't really feel like it, though. That's the weird part. It's either I'm really getting used to all this, or I'm getting better. But I need to get back to work. I can't do this forever. I only have so much to sell to pay bills and all that. I mean, there's just nothing more I can do. I've got so much debt, and I can't afford the stress to have them come after me and stuff. So I'm going to do a little rehab on driving here and there. I'm going to take a break for a few days. I need my head to get back to what it was a week ago, which sucked, but better than this. So, but it's kind of like how I was walking to Walmart across the street and going to the stores. I try to rehab myself to gain some confidence. My nerves have been on end, the last few days. So usually my nerves and anxiety has been better. Now it's just been, bad again. Not like horrible, like, terror, but, I don't like to make things worse. So I'm going to... Oddly, today and yesterday has been so windy, it's unreal. So I couldn't even go out anyway. I mean, just being inside freaks me out with all the sound of the wind and stuff, just pounding on the windows. But that's about 7 months for me. I'll write 7 months on the title if I find out this is a 7-month anniversary for me being off Xanax and Klonopin. I was only on it for 3 months. And most of it was, half of it was actually trying to get off of it, or finding somebody to get me off of it, because I was so dependent on it about a month and a half. It's been hell. A lot of intrusive thoughts lately. I mean, things have been going, it's just, some things gotten better. The buzzing throughout my whole body's a little better. It comes and goes. I'm more or less morphing through stuff. Some new things, like the way my head's been feeling, is new. And that could be because the Zyrtec, I found out I'm not supposed to take that. Well, I shouldn't take that since I'm taking the mirtazapine. They're not a... Part of my problem is the damn mirtazapine. I can't take anything because everything interacts with that. And then it makes my benzo withdrawal worse. So I gotta be really careful. Anyway, I mean, things are tolerable. The buzzing, like I said, is a little better. The dizziness is brutal. Not as bad as it could be. It's not like full-on vertigo. It's just a slow motion blur of a dizziness, and it never goes away, and it's gotten worse. Hopefully that'll start to get better. I know the better I sleep, the better it is, so I try to get as much sleep as possible. But sometimes I'll sleep less and I'll feel better the next day. So I don't know what the hell that's about. I got a doctor's appointment tomorrow to get my ear checked to make sure it's not an infection. It's feeling better today, so I'm not thinking it is. I just think it's just inflamed and stuff, like I was talking about earlier. But I'm gonna ask my doctor about allergy testing, what I can do about that, because I'm tired I don't want to eat stuff that's going to make me sick. Even though benzo withdrawal, I'm so sensitive on everything. But in general, I want to know from my life what things I should stay away from. You know, if I'm allergic to corn, I want to freaking know about it, you know. And since I have insurance now, which I can barely afford, but I do have insurance, I get it done before this whole Obamacare gets trashed. It's going to be weird if once this all happens and I don't have insurance anymore. I'll have no idea what to do. But whatever, you know, worry about that then. That's about it. I gotta worry about tomorrow. Like if it is an infection in my ear, I gotta worry about which antibiotics I can take. I know what is it, the fluoroquinolone antibiotics. Can't take any of those, and I gotta make sure if I do get like eardrops for some reason, they're not the Cipro ones. It's just ridiculous. I'm not thinking I have an ear infection though. It's feeling a lot better today. Some days I swear I'm coming down with just being really sick, and then I won't feel it. It's just crazy. Just so tired of all this. 7 months, man. I'm just scared people are going to get totally sick of me. And I won't really know what to do. I don't really, you know, I mean, people want me to see a psychiatrist, and I get that. And I tell people straight out, you know, people around me that do listen, that a psychiatrist, I have to be severely careful on what I tell them. You know, I can tell them about the benzo stuff, whether they believe me or not, but I have to make sure that they don't put me on all these medications. I can't do that because it's not going to mask these symptoms. It's only going to make things worse. If there was a pill right now that can mask the symptoms that wasn't a benzo, that can make my head feel so much better and I can get back to work, you know what? I would just end up taking it because I can't do this forever. I got a life I have to live. But there is none. And I know that. From the research I've done, on the millions of people I've talked to so many. And there just isn't. And it's just time. And my time's taking longer because I'm on other meds. You know, I'm on mirtazapine. There's no proof that makes anything worse. But I just always assume anything you take makes anything worse. I'm guessing that just makes my dizziness and fatigue worse, which is half the battle right there. So luckily I'm not on a huge dose. I'm on 6.7. I cut it and weigh it every single night. So eventually I will get off of it. Sadly, I only needed it for like a month. And now here it is 6-7 months later. Whatever. Anyway, so that's what's going on. I wish I was better. Some days I was. You know, I've seen windows where I feel better. I mean, windows, you know, nothing ever always fully goes away. But where I feel better and I start feeling confident again, and I'm like, I think I'm getting better. Today's not one of them, but you know, it could be worse. I mean, it can't be much worse because soon I won't be able to pay the bills, and if that happens, screwed. So I'm not going to worry about that just yet. Got a few good months to go before that would even start to even happen. It's too bad though, because selling my music equipment, I mean, that makes me who I am, you know, and without it I get really depressed. It kind of sucks. I'm gonna keep some limited music equipment so I'm still able to record some music, but it's not gonna be like I've done in a real professional way. It's just gonna be more or less to get me by. Like my girlfriend says, it's only temporary, so eventually I'll buy some of it back. But I think after all this, I'll buy some of it back, but I have to get rid of my debt. At least half of it. No, not even half of it, some of it. You know, the 1,000 credit cards I've got. Anyway, you guys, I hope you're doing well. I know some of you on the forums are doing better, and some of you are doing worse. And I know when it's on the worst days, like me, I'm trying not to be negative, but I think to myself, I'm just not getting better. You know, how is it that anytime I take something weird or something, my symptoms get so much worse? Did I put myself back in healing? I mean, this is the most messed up thing, and it's really sad doctors don't understand this because we need help. And there's nothing we can do about it. But I'm going to continue doing my recovery stuff. I'm going to, once I start feeling better, I'm going to drive a little bit more. And, to be at that point is good. It's just been 7 months just to get to this little point. Yeah, it's really stupid. Anyway, I hope you guys are good. Comment, whatever. Let me know how you're doing. Don't just comment if you're in a really bad spot. Be positive and type it out. Anyway, have a great day, guys. We'll talk to you later.